Blessed love, I am the Honorable Priest Isaac. I am an official priest within the realms of Rastafari of the Ethiopia-Africa Black International Congress. I also hold a certification in the craft of ARCHAEOASTRONOMY from Politecnico di Milano in Italy. Our universe and its maker has always been an intriguing subject for humankind. Astronomy is the study of everything in the universe beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Ancient astronomy is similar, but pays special attention to the physical and spiritual values of stars, planets, moons, and other celestial objects. It also brings in the terrestrial component, being things on an earthly plane, such as plants, human organs, and connects them to the heavenly bodies. In this course, you will learn the makeup of various planets and stars, how to locate them in the night sky, along with their associated constellations. You will also be taught about the earliest civilizations known for their astronomical comprehension, namely Kush, also known as ancient Ethiopia, Kemet, called Egypt today, the Dogons, and the Bozos, as well as the civilization of Sumer. You will also learn about black holes, their nature and origin, as well as how the ancients viewed them. Ancient astronomy is the mother of archaeoastronomy and astrotheology. Both subject areas are covered by the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Sign up today. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, for more information.
While churches rose to the sky in Europe, in 12th century Africa, they were being carved out of the ground. These Christian pilgrims in Ethiopia are on their way to worship at one of them. In these highlands, in the 12th century, Lalibela, a new king from a new dynasty, built a new holy capital. Today, Lalibela's legacy lives on, in the physical splendor of the churches and the traditions of their guardian priests.
My blessed people and congregation, churches with no mud, no wood, and no cement. You cannot find anything like this in the rest of the world. You are all blessed because you are here. This place was built by God.
Every year on St. George's Day, pilgrims gather to celebrate a faith that has endured here for 16 centuries. These Christians claimed that God brought the Ark of the Covenant and the tablets of the Ten Commandments to their land. On holy days today, priests carry on their heads replicas of the tablets, wrapped in gilded cloth. The people of Ethiopia have been carving churches out of mountains for more than 1,000 years. But the 11 churches of Lalibela symbolize their achievement to the outside world. Become a legend, his story told by monks even today.
There was a city called Roha, where lived a man who belonged to one of the most noble of families, one of the richest in gold, silver, garments, precious stones, servants and maids. He had a child who became the mysteriously named Lalibela.
In the legend, the king's greatness was recognized at birth. A swarm of bees descended on his cot as if around honey.
His mother named him Lalibela, which means the bee has recognized him as king. But these were not bodily bees, but angels who took bee form in order to announce his reign.
God sent one of his angels to bring Lalibela to heaven, to show him the most holy of churches. Lalibela, the story goes, ordered tools to be made to carve temples like those he'd seen in heaven. His craftsmen turned the wild mountainside into a new Jerusalem.
In prison, the very first time when I was in solitary confinement, you are interrogated for 7 nights and 7 days without any sleep, and God provided a mechanism I had never thought of at the time. I reached a point, I think a threshold, where the body could not take the pain anymore, and then I would faint. Those were the most beautiful moments. The body rested, and when they threw a bucket of water to wake me up, it didn't matter that I was soaking wet. I got up, I was so refreshed, and I started fighting all over again. We were so oppressed, we were reduced to nobodies. So what happened was Madiba goes into prison. I am banished to Brantford. And I had noticed, even before I left Johannesburg, that the name Winnie was beginning to be forgotten by even my family. Everything I said was Mandela's wife. I became a nobody. Here I am now, losing myself and being absorbed into this name. Yeah, I am married, but I am still winning. So that scared me. And the reason why I fought as hard as I did in Brantford, I wanted it known that it was Winnie Mandela.
As always, we definitely glorify life giver and the keeper of life. Give thanks for your presence with us, royal family, on a wonderful, wonderful and beautiful looking Monday evening. We're talking about Tiger's Nest in full effect. Honorable Priest Isaac here with you, your humble host at this moment. I really pray that all is well with each and every one. Of course, family, we definitely coming off of a beautiful, beautiful Patron's Day. Give thanks for each and every one who was with us throughout the day. It was a wonderful sit down, I'm telling you. Give thanks for all of those who may not have been with us throughout the day, but you were with us at some time. I mean, give thanks for all of the special ones that came through. Give thanks for the mighty reasoning that we had. What a beautiful reasoning. What do you think? It was a wonderful sit down. You know, the elder Honorable Priest Imesley came in and paid us a special visit. Honorable Priest Lamont, Empress Maisie. Give thanks for the House of Priests, Honorable Kess Westmore, definitely holding the fort. Of course, you know, give thanks for the elder Ras I Cern and King Kwab Ras Kwamai, and of course Sahaifa Selassie, the rabbi came in, Ras I Dennis. Well, that was a beautiful moment, you know, family. I really full enjoyed it as I usually do. Brother Anko Madrid could not make it, but he sent his love to the full family. And of course, throughout the day, you know, we definitely had some good flavor and some good spice. So we're very thankful for that. I'm going to give you a bit of report. As you know, we definitely have to give a report as it relates to such. But family, we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful program this evening. You know, we're going to be going into just a little reasoning I want to put on the table. That's all. It will be scholarly, of course. This is the Tiger's Nest, eh? You know, it is scholarly, let's put it that way for sure. But it's a simple reasoning. And it is something I wanted to bring to the forefront. It's nothing new, nothing that caught my attention lately. But it's something that has always been out there. And, you know, even yesterday, sometime yesterday, Ras Iser mentioned Brother Walter Rodney. And of course, I remember for sure when King Iser started to get into the Walter Rodney books and the different, you know, reasonings on that level. I clearly can remember. If you notice when the brothers speak, you know, Ras Iser and Ras Kwame, they always reminisce of back in the days. That's why you hear them speak of myself doing this for a long time on the radio station, the essay competition. So these are prime witnesses to the work that we've been doing way before the internet even existed, and well, before it existed in the mainstream. Because you know, anything that comes mainstream, it was there before. So I don't care what they give you. Wow, this is a brand new invention that has been there before. You know, all the swiping and cellular phones. It has been there before, you understand? So I'm just speaking now specifically as it relates to the works going forward. So I remember the first time, I think it was the same Walter Williams. The concept may have passed my ears already, but I know for sure watching a video with the good brother, he made a statement and I said, yeah. And he was talking about Jesus didn't exist. And of course, when you say Jesus doesn't exist, many people take that differently. Someone will say, of course, I know Jesus never exists, man. It's Jesus Christ is who exists, not Jesus, the blue-eyed boy. But that's how some people take it. Some people, when you say Jesus never existed, they just mean nobody named Christ. Some people come to me, mix up Jesus with Christ. Some people, when you tell them Christ, they think you're talking about Jesus. You follow what I'm saying? That's just my specific outlook of it. So I was listening to good brother Walter Williams, and he was saying Jesus doesn't exist. And I respect his works too, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I've read his works for sure. And, maybe I'm not in agreement with every single thing, but that's not what the world is all about. It's just about taking the information that you could use to benefit you. So he was saying Buddha doesn't exist. I said, wow, okay, the Buddha doesn't exist, yeah. And Muhammad never exists. I remember that lecture clearly. I'm sure some of you would have seen it. It may be on YouTube. And he was taking his time and Krishna never existed. And I'm listening, okay. And even at that time, I don't think I would have had the understanding and the comprehension of certain levels as I do now, the esoterics and comprehending that so-called mythology, the mythos is real. The mythos is not fable. The mythos is real. In fact, many a mythos were taken from literal history and turned into legend. I've done these programs, that's why the Tiger's Nest is a scholarly sit down. So those of you, especially those of you who are subscribers, you have the programs that you can listen them back on your own time, your own leisure. So again, we understand the mystics with esoteric writings, legend, and mythos, all of them not the same, and allegory, different things. We use these terms very loosely. And I'm not upset with anyone. I used to use them loosely too, you understand. But we study and understand and comprehend, so I'm explaining them to you so you don't have to use them loosely. So the brother was giving a line of people, Moses never existed. And I listened. I understood, at least at that time, by that time, I could understand why he's saying what he was saying. Then brother Walter Williams said, nobody in the Bible ever existed. I said, nobody at all, And really, I would have, through my tradition, rites of passage, if you want to call it, through Rastafari and through consciousness, I would have come across several people that make that blanket statement. Nobody in the Bible never existed. Now, if that was so, I would understand. But you see, this is my point. A lot of people talk and they do not do their diligent research or their diligent search. And that's why it's called research, because we're going into something that we should know already. So anyway, I want to get into that tonight. Nobody in the Bible existed. I just want to get into it. It's just a conversation here. You understand? I'm around the round table this evening. It's okay. Just a conversation here. But yes, family, before I go into the depths of that, and we're going to have to pull out our Bibles, obviously, since nobody in the Bible existed, I want to just give a little rundown here. Specifically, of course, now yesterday, we had a webathon for Patrons Day. And the webathon was for the rising of to assist the rising or raising of the funds that will furnish the national and international essay competition. Listen to me, family. Give thanks for a beautiful evening. This is Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice. We may premiere this on the YouTube maybe a little later this evening or at another time. It depends on what the Board of Executives have to say. But anyway, yes. So I'm just saying that we had an essay competition, Webathon. The Webathon was for the essay competition. That's yesterday. Again, Patrons Day. I'm sure everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. And this is the third Patrons Day that we are putting on, and the third of its kind as it relates to the Webathon. It was an interesting track coming up to this Patrons Day, because this time around, we basically doubled the budget for the National African History Month essay competition. This would have been the second year that we would have attempted to launch the international essay competition. But the national essay competition, as I said, this will be its 11th year going forward. So I just want to give a result here, give the results of the Webathon, so that we, as we say, could move with, as we always do, transparency. I'm not seeing it come up here, but well, it's nothing hard to remember. It is a $50 donation that came from the Lion of Judah Society. We got a $40 donation. I will get the name for that one, just so I could be clear, but I don't have it right in front of me, and someone else sent $7. So in all, that's $97 that we managed to raise yesterday as it relates to the Webathon. Now, of course, it was Patrons Day, so we had offers, special offers on our merchandise, our products and our services. Now, that's a different thing altogether. I'm not going to give you the tally of that whatsoever. That is business, you know, something which yesterday I think yesterday we homed in to the point which I really am happy that we homed into that point, that we need to be more on target and more aligned with business. We can't be afraid and act as if we're the enemy of business. When we see brothers and sisters conducting business, we're jealous of that. Imagine that. This may sound strange, but I didn't expect that. We really are. And that's to show you how brain scrub we are. Talk about the crab in the barrel stuff. I am telling you. But anyway, yes, as I said, we give thanks to all those who would have patronized yesterday. We definitely do. Those who would have taken advantage of the special offers that we had on the different courses that are available, and of course our books and DVDs and documentaries, videos and the whole works, and of course our whole food store and the natal charts and everything that we provide as services and products here at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. And we, just have begun to rack up on these services. Many different products and courses are on their way. So definitely we give thanks for all those who continually support. But now to the Webathon again. So remember, the target for this year was $57,000. $725. That was the target. Why that target? Well, we would have done several programs to explain this, several. Even on the very day, Patron's Day, we had to still come just so that everyone could understand the importance of the mission, the value of the mission, the sincerity of the mission, the accountability, or how accountable the mission is, as well as its transparency. These are things that we kept on the front burner throughout the whole campaign of Patron's Day. And as I said yesterday, I will say it again now. The reason why I continually speak of the transparency and the accountability, number one, of course, it's a good presentation for sure. As I said, 11 years, and everything that we say we would have done, it has been done. All finance and all donation used for exactly what it was earmarked for. I mean, I never seen nothing like this. We would come on the television and be showing receipts for every single thing. And again, the reason why I have that here is because I am amongst the conscious ones. Yes, we all have been bit by the same enemy, but yet still most of the people that I'm speaking to, I believe, have in some way or in some form or fashion awakened out of a sleep. If not by me, well, if you came to me sleeping, I surely would wake you up. So in some form or fashion, we would have, waken up. So the reason why we clearly continually harp on the trustworthiness of what we're doing is so that it leaves you with no excuse. Now, again, I'm not speaking to everyone. I'm speaking to those who consider what we are doing as a good work. You understand what I'm saying? I just want to be clear. So it's not like we're talking to everybody. There are those that don't think this is a good work. I'm not talking to them. We're not asking them for we don't want no help. It's all right. We can do it ourselves. You understand? Very good. We're not talking to those who actually want to see an end of it. Of course not. We're speaking to those who say from their lips, man, that's a great work. We're speaking to those who utter from their mouths like, man, I wish I could do something to further that work. People say these things. Man, listen, this is some good information here. I respect this. Okay, very good. These are the people I am reaching out to. These are the people that we explain the plot and the strategy going forward. We explain the target, we explain the goal, we explain the reason for. That's just like a business. When you have a business, you have to have a reason for too, Why? What's the purpose of the target, the purpose of the goal? Well, the reason for is that there are countless of children that are just moving around like zombies. That's the reason for. Many of them have become adults since we've been on this effort here. And some of them are not even born as yet. Some of them are already conceived. And the way that this trap has been set, they also will come out moving like zombies, even before they're born, man. So just like those who think generations ahead, we have to take up that understanding that we need to think generations ahead. We cannot just think about what's going to be on the table for dinner tonight. So that's where your brother is thinking, generations ahead. I'm just hoping that there are those that think like I and I. So what can I do for generations ahead? The essay competition, again, was designed to spark the zeal for Afrocentricity in the minds of African people who have been robbed of knowledge of self, basically, in a nutshell. That's why we take the time to explain our history and how it is that we would have attempted for at least a half a decade to get African history and heritage in the school. More than half a decade ago, we're still doing it. But it took us at least 5 years before we said, no, man, this ain't working. Let me try something else. Essay competition. So this is a vehicle as it relates to the war that we are fighting. Many may not want to hear this, because most of us, we're not at war, but all of us are in the war. There's no one here that is escaping the war. There's a war. This ain't just Palestine and them other people there. This is a war all around that's taking place, and we're all in the war. But the sad thing is that many of us are not aware, and we are not at war. You know how much time Harriet Tubman come for plenty of us and have to leave us behind? You know what she said when the whole thing done? She said, I would have freed hundreds, and I would have freed hundreds more. Let me start that over. I would have freed hundreds of slaves. Yeah, that's it. And I would have freed hundreds more if they knew that they were slaves. So that's why people like me have to come along to show slaves, yo, you're a slave. So when Harriet Tubman come behind me now, she can say, hey, let's go. You're in trouble. Yeah, I know. The priest already cleared me up, and let's move. I wonder if you're following the narrative. Don't worry, get into the subject. This is the subject. This is the subject. I shouldn't go into no subject until this subject gets clear. It's $97 we got, from the conscious community. Check how much people are listening now. $97 we got from the conscious community. 3 people. We give thanks to them. We're very thankful. Let's show appreciation. Bless him. Asante sana. We presented a document which is entitled, Preserve the Generations to Come. And of course, within this document, I showed that we have a program set. Now, it's not, I would have explained, and this is why I throughout the day yesterday, I was sending ones back to listen to the lecture I gave on this. I think it's entitled, Precise That Gives a Serious Message, or something with a serious message yesterday. You should listen to it if you have not listened to it as yet. It's on the YouTube. Preserve the generations to come. And within that document, I, explain a few steps that we could take, relevant steps, especially from preschool level to apply within the culture of the child, specifically through the school system. I clarified that within my presentation and in the document, that this document was designed as a manifesto to be given to the government of this nation for them to put within their educational system. And in fact, I even said that they need a director of African history and heritage and a chief, I can't remember, the title is right there, a chief motivator, yes. They need that. So they would have to contract myself. This is not a job, you know. They have to contract me to do everything that I would have said in the documentary or the document for it to really work properly. I wouldn't just leave it in their hands to do it. They need someone to oversee that. And who better than, you know, he who brought forth the baby as such, to put it in that term, esoterically speaking, obviously, because this is my baby, brainchild, as they would say. So I'm just showing to you now that there are ones that consider that, you know, I shouldn't prepare a document to give to the government to put in their Babylon school. Now, obviously, anybody that thinks so, first of all, they do not understand the strategy that is running through my mind, the strategic outlook. You know, maybe they're not chess players, I don't know. In fact, I showed you the play yesterday, why we're doing it this way. We explained that it would be nice to have a manifesto for the household. And you see, these are things you implement when you own the government, when you start to rise your standard, when you have your own empire. We're totally far from that. How many of us heard how Empress Maisie cried out yesterday? We're totally far away from any government. That's when we were discussing economics. So there's nothing we can really implement. But the education system, again, it's a whole system. By law, you have to be a part of it in one way or the other. Even when people homeschool officially, you know, you still got to follow the curriculum and prove that you're following the curriculum at the end of the year. I'm telling you, I'm talking this system here. So if you can get the director of the system, the minister of the system, or the prime minister of the whole system to agree with what you're bringing, because they style themselves as conscious people, you know. Yeah, man, they throw on the dashiki and everything, African History Month, and they're into that stuff. They're into that. But yet still, when you come too serious, we'll think about it. 10, 11 years past, still thinking about it. You understand what I'm saying, family? So when an individual would say, well, no, we shouldn't be giving the government that documentary. You should prepare a documentary for Rastafari. Which Rastafari? Is $97, I say in them. That we raised yesterday in the Webathon. Who Rastafari are you talking about? No, I'm very serious. I even went as far, family, hear this, I even went as far as to tell the people that I consider as conscious people, people that have a heart and understand. It's not as if I just hear flip-flopping, you know. That is why I ask. Wants to explain if I'm doing something wrong. No, I mean, I'm serious. Because the ideas that we have and the way that we implement it, and then we call for our family to be a part of it, and then they don't show up. Obviously, you have to look at yourself like, well, maybe I'm too far ahead of my time or something. Something must be wrong. Maybe it's a sin to hold an essay competition. I don't know, maybe, you know, got to be something. Because you're on the air every day. You go on the YouTube every day. You're live, hundreds of people listening to you all over the world. Hundreds watching you sometime. At the end of the day, thousands seeing your video and like it and great comments and all of these different things, which is nice. We are happy for that. But then now when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, when it comes down to the literal moment of time to attack, when you look around, it's just 1, 2 soldiers with you. Because this is time to attack. This was attacking. This was an attack. We took the time to explain the strategic move forward, where we're going to attack and how we're going to attack and how it can be done. That's why I said you need to have a purpose. What's the purpose? Well, we have many children, many youths that are moving like zombies, robots, that need the knowledge of self. That's the purpose. We need to get knowledge of self to these youths. There are other ways too, you know. That's why I did a whole document, Preserve the Generations to Come. The essay competition is just one part of that document, just one part of that document. The document goes into so many different things. I'm not going to go into it again, but you understand. So we live and eat and breathe and dream this stuff here to do our best, Honorable Priest Isaac, to do his best, yeah, to make sure the young minds get some sort of awakening to Afrocentricity. Some people say I sound like a snake when I talk with it. Quetzalcoatl in the house, Rastafari. The flying serpent in flesh. So what I am saying, my Lord. Yeah. So what I'm saying, family, with all of that, a well-packaged program, we set a whole day from sunrise to sunset, and I even go as far as to say, hey, family, look, if you're broke right now, because I know things hard, and I don't really talk, but that's how people talk to me. Things hard. Things real rough right now. Okay, well, you said it, you're the God. You're creating that with all of that stuff you're talking there. But anyway, hey, come on. You can pledge it. You can. So I have hundreds of people sitting in front of me watching me. I say, hey, it's all right. All of you broke right now, I'm sure. You're all broke. Because if you wasn't broke, I'm sure you would have donated even $20 to consciousness. Because you're conscious too. I find it hard to believe. I looking at all these conscious folks. Rastafari, red, gold, and green. It's impossible for me to believe this. And to say that, hey, listen, man, look at the package here. This is something that, this is not an experiment now. 11 years. This is not something we're going to try and see if it works. And it's well packaged. And as the years go by, we package it better. Yeah, we're serious about what we're doing. I don't want nobody to be offended, but we can do it ourselves. But we just thought. There are thousands are rallying around us here. We just thought that, hey, these people are serious. That's what we thought. So, hey, listen, even if you don't have it, because the system have us all, it's hard, I know. Even if you don't have it, you can pledge. You can pledge $20 and deliver it in 21 days. I even went as far as to say that, hey, if you have a brother that cannot find $20 in 21 days, you need to sit this brother down with other brothers and see if we can help him to create some sort of financial growth. Because it's impossible for you to tell me as an adult that you can't handle $20 in 21 days. And of course, I know what I'm saying may sound off to many, and you're saying, what is he saying? Of course. I'm just showing us clearly where our mind is. That's all. That's all. When Menelik II and Rasmussen called for the warriors to come to the battlefield, that is what wins the war, you know, when all the warriors come from all angles to the battlefield, far right. Yeah. Far right, let me show you. I'm not talking about the Webathon yesterday. I'm talking about what I observed throughout consciousness. I'm not talking about me neither, you know. I see it in all angles. Believe me. Even when it comes to our youth, there are many different programs I observe prepared for youth. I watch these things in the conscious community. There's no strong love for youths in the conscious community, I'm telling you. People may say, yeah, there's an African school here, there. I know that, of course I know. But who else knows? A lot of things are publicized and pushed, and we gravitate to many other things more than things that are designed to craft the mind of our youth. Even ourselves. Many of us are caught up in the entertainment aspect of this. We like to be entertained and satisfied when we hear a good talk. But now when it's time for action, real action now, to catch the mind of the generations that will hold us up when they come us as such. Yeah. A very clear vision. But as one individual said yesterday, our people need more edifying education. And it is true. And the education is not just theology, you know. It's the facts of life. But still within the theology, there's the facts of life. And I'm telling you, we are trained to be crabs in barrels. So that's why we need to take the consciousness and all this knowledge that we've learned and apply it to our life. So my royal family, you need to tell me, my royal family can't say, yeah, man, priest, yeah, $50 you're getting that in a month, and make sure I get it in a month. Man, this is gonna hurt you. If you can't do that for this cause, you shouldn't be even listening to me. Why are you listening to me then? Why are you up to that? No, I'm very, very serious, because I know for sure if I was looking at this, man, that would be a breeze. I don't think I mean, come on. With the emphasis that we give, with the clarity that we give, as it relates to the program that is before us. So that is why when someone say, hey, you shouldn't be giving this document to no government. You should be giving it to I, Rastafari. I mean, give me a break. Hey, this might sound strange, eh? We have tried that many times. You understand? That's what Ras Ison was saying, that he told Bongo Wisely. He said, hey, King, I feel it for you, you know. You trying to bring governmental affairs to people that not on that. And it is true. A lot of us as conscious people, we drowsy in our minds. We afraid many things. We afraid change. We afraid money. We afraid business. We afraid real economics. We afraid coming out of the ghetto. We're afraid of ourselves. Yeah, man, we need to come out of that. So, as I said, it was a beautiful Patriots Day. I was really expecting the beautiful people that have a heart of love to literally be more moved towards the cause. You understand? But you must understand that it is all well with your brother. And, you know, as I said, this is a heartful thing for me. So because it is so from the heart, the work, so from the heart must respond to the response from the community that we even pour our heart out to. I hope you understand what I'm saying. But all is well. I just came to give the report. Yes, we raised $97, which is, I can't even do the maths, but it's still a couple thousand, not a couple, 51,600 and something dollars away from the target that we had for yesterday. But it's all blessed, family, because in February, we will also bring back the full report to you, as you will see with your eyes, as always, that we would host a very upful and excited essay competition with a gala banquet to follow and prize-giving ceremony. Holy Manuelai, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, give thanks. Now, the subject area. Family, this is touching for me. Not the subject, what I just said. This is my life, man. I believe in this. You know, never brand myself as no savior. I'm just a part of this strategic war to uplift, and that's why we concentrate on the youth. You know, everybody was a youth, but okay, but the youth are always there. So I know I may sound a bit even forceful with what I'm saying, but softly forceful, obviously. But it's something that's touching, man. I actually feel it. I feel it, man. Even just to go and speak the next subject now, I'm saying, but who am I speaking to? Who really taking this word in? No, I'm serious, family. Those of us that say we're conscious, we need to step up. That's why we, as a conscious community, way behind him. Yeah, man, what we have. You know, here Empress Maisie crowd yesterday, what do we have? Do we have anything? Trade, plane, ship, anything? Empire? School system, not a school and a school system. A college, a university. As a people, not as an African country, you know, wherein you still have a lot of colonial frequency just over it. No, we know that's not how it go. Black people run this country here. When you go in the parliament, it's all black people in there, except maybe one or two different, but black people run this country, but it's still like if it's white people business. It's a white people education we get in. You understand what I'm saying? No disrespect to white people. White people education is for white people, the way you think. That's why I said, you know, the education system may work for somebody, but it doesn't work for us. Let's go to the book of 2 Kings. 2 Kings, let's read from, I'm trying to find here, from verse 10. And it says here, no, from verse 9. And when, no, let me start from, yes, from verse 9. And when he heard say of Taharka, king of Ethiopia, behold, he is come out to fight against thee. He sent messengers again unto Hezekiah, saying, now, in fact, I think Taharka's name was mentioned somewhere up here before that. But the story is, of course, you know, Taharka came and gave some assistance to the king of Israel now, Hezekiah, according to the scripture, against the Assyrians. Very good. Now, of course, we're reading this story here, and we are at the point now where, even in our discussion yesterday, many ones were harping on the idea that the Bible is myth. That it's myth, like the Bible is a mythological book. You know, I know there's some that are stern, that there's no history at all. There's nothing at all about the Bible as history. You can't find none of this stuff nowhere, and nobody turned into no pillar of salt. You can't find no ark anywhere. Although people say these things are there, yeah, you have people that say you can prove where no ark is. I've seen them pictures there. I don't believe that. Of course not. Come on, I don't believe that at all. But everybody is free to believe what they believe. So please don't be offended. It's just up to you. You understand? So there are ones that would say that, well, what we're reading here is just an allegorical expression and different space and different time. All right. So anyway, this is one of the reasons why individuals would just off of the bat say that no one in the Bible exists. I surely am not of that opinion. I mean, I would have explained myself a million times, but sometimes you have to keep explaining yourself. New people come in all the time, and especially if your outlook is unique, sometimes you have to repeat it and let ones understand where you're coming from. Because the Bible is highly allegorical. So this is a super allegorical book, super esoteric book, super allegorical and super esoteric. In fact, they're more allegorical. It is more allegorical and esoteric than it is of the mythos. I wouldn't say mythological, because that's a different thing too, you know. You know, sometimes I get lost in the conversation and I use the word mythology, but the ancient craft teaches that mythos is a different thing than mythology. Is like astronomy and astrology. You understand? It's different. But the mythos, which is basically the same idea, you know, but in its pure form, that's really what it is. In its more secret, sacred form. What people may call its occult form, but again, another word that make people run out of the room. I mean, well, people run out of the room for some words that voodoo. Oh my God, I just had to do that. So yes, so I'm showing you now that the scripture itself, the Bible itself, all these different stories, they have different stories. Some of them have different energies. You know, that's why they say some religious teachings will show you that the story of Christ in the Bible, maybe 45% or so of that is the truth, and 55% is allegory or a prophecy of a Christ to come. That's how it's written. A real thing, that real thing. It's a very deep scientific book too. Yeah, man, I'm totally for that. I hear other people say otherwise and throw it away. Man, everybody have to speak of their own experience, man. I've read the book several times. I understand enough of the science in there. I can turn it upside down. I can show you some tricks that many people never even pick up. So it is very allegorical and esoteric from its inception, from where it was taken from. You see the glyphs and the scrolls that it was taken from. A lot of the allegory, especially in the story form, has gone into that book itself. So that's where it comes from. Yeah. And then even within it, and that's not a shame, it wasn't stolen to put there. It's Africans that turn it into that, in that form, in that allegorical expression. This is deep. And then now, within that itself, in its Ge'ez form and Amharic form, etc., it is filled with a lot of science. Even when it comes down to the English version, there's some science that cannot get away. And now hear this, the robbers and thieves that translated it come down the line, they put their own little Masonic twist in it too. And if you can pick up these Masonic twists, you're good as well. All of that is a part of the unraveling of and decoding of the Bible. So who wants to throw it away? Good luck to you. Yeah, but we know what's going on here. So anyway, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. I had to say all of that. Because remember, this is the tiger's nest, eh? I had to say all of that to bring now to the table that energy. Well, Solomon never existed because we can't find the tomb of Solomon. Okay, David never existed. All right, okay. As I've said, Solomon is Ra-Aman, but anyway, not going to argue right now. Nobody in the Bible ever existed. Is that so? Them kind of statement ones have to be careful with. You see, you lose the debate there. You may even have some good points. But when you just talk off your head, nobody in the Bible exists. Man, a couple of times I'll be sitting down even around round tables, not Rasta round table, different round tables, sitting around individuals talking, and man just say, nobody in the Bible exists. I would believe one of these days around the round table, it will be said. Because don't get me wrong, eh? Those who you see in Rasta round table, we have other people to come in, you know. Yeah, man, Rasta round table is for all Rastafari. You know? Rasta round table is for all Rastafari. Once you have discipline and you have something to share, you ain't coming for nobody to bring no argument. Rasta round table is for all. And there are those that will definitely hold to the point that nobody in the Bible exists. Yeah. So the servants of King Hezekiah, you know of the Hezekiah seal, eh? Well, boy, because the Hezekiah seal now, we would have showed it. I don't have it pulled up here, but we would have showed the Hezekiah seal several times in discussion and reasoning. You know, the Hezekiah seal has Kepra and it has the Ankh, the seal of Hezekiah, King Hezekiah. And that now, on an archaeological level, many ones would consider that's proof that King Hezekiah existed. Okay. Now, King Hezekiah was visited and helped by King Tahaka, who, according to this book, was referred to as the King of Ethiopia. The same Tahaka is considered to be the king of all the world. Now, there is some serious statements to make. So King Tahaka now came to assist Hezekiah. We're not too sure if Hezekiah exists, although we find a seal called the Hezekiah seal, but you know, no, that may be a forged seal. So it may be, you know, not real, fraud. So we're not sure about that. Okay, all right. How about King Tahaka? Who? King Tahaka. Who's King Tahaka now? You don't know King Tahaka. Let's read a bit about King Tahaka. Now, I'm going to take this from maxstat.slu.edu. And it's speaking about King Tahaka. Now, everybody knows Tahaka. Tahaka is a historical character. I don't think there's any question out there that King Tahaka is a historical character. Son of Pai and Queen Abar, King Tahaka, 690 to 664 BC, succeeded his brother Shabataka. He's regarded as a ruler who reunited the land after the defeat against the Assyrians by Shabataka, which would have influenced internal rebellions. He is also regarded as the king who lost the entire land to the Assyrians shortly after. Now, interestingly, the story of Tahaka in the Bible has to do with the Assyrians in one form or the other. Taharka's 26-year reign, I'm continuing to read. Taharka's 26-year reign stands out from any other in the third intermediate period by the extent of the building program he implemented in the first 16 years of his reign, and the extent of the fighting against the Assyrians in the later years. So Taharka himself, as it says here, Taharka, invested considerable resources into celebrating the glory of Ammon. First, in his native kingdom of Napata, that is, Napata is in the south now, later in his Egyptian territories as well. Because it's one people, eh? Sheikh and the Diep already showed us that the Egyptian and the Nubians, as they call today, are one people. You understand, the same. So that's why Taharka, the king of Kemet, gets still the king of Cush, the king of Ethiopia and all the world. According to the Bible, them is Bible talk. And he, Taharka, came and assisted Hezekiah against the Assyrians. Now that's in the Bible. But history now, well, at least history doesn't say Taharka came to help Hezekiah. But interestingly, archaeology shows that we found a Hezekiah seal. Now that is debatable because people debate it. It hasn't been a consensus because it's just a shocking find. Because most people were of the opinion that nobody in the Bible exists. And they already shut the door on that. You know, when somebody's stiff-necked, when somebody is conceited, and they mean that, hey, I don't believe that. Nobody in the Bible exists. And then you have proof that, hey, look, Hezekiah existed. Man, it's going to be hard for them to admit that. They're going to, no, you're going to have to double prove that, triple prove that, bring 10 more, do something else. I have to be there when they do the carbon dating. Yeah, because I have done my studies otherwise. And nobody in the Bible exists. So what about Taharka? That's just a name, man. That Taharka in the Bible is not this Taharka. But that Taharka in the Bible was the king of Ethiopia. How many Taharkas do they have as the king of Ethiopia? And here they say, the Taharka in the Bible heard that the Assyrians were at loggerheads with Hezekiah, and he said, hey, let me go help my brother out. Yeah, because he's bloodthirsty, if you want to say, against the Assyrians. He's always at war with the Assyrians since his puppy days. He busted Assyrians' head. So the Taharka in the Bible went to assist Hezekiah, whose seal was found, by the way, with Egyptian glyphs on it. Kepara, who they call Cancer the crab, Kepara in astronomical formation, and the Ankh was on Hezekiah's seal with his name, Hezekiah, king of Israel. You serious? King of Judah, King Hezekiah. And Taharka, a historical character. My point is, hey, that rhymes, eh? And Taharka, a historical character. Yeah, that will sound better the first time. But anyway, the point I'm making is that we cannot deny the reality of the existence of King Taharka. I don't think nobody denying that, nobody arguing that. I never heard no one ever mounted any argument about King Taharka was fable. I hear people say the Buddha didn't exist. People say Muhammad didn't exist. People say the Christ in the Bible didn't exist. Moses, Solomon, you know, Solomon is the main man. Didn't know Solomon exists. None of these people exist. Nobody in the Bible exists. Well, the Buddha not really in the Bible, but the Buddha in the Bible too. You know, but next level. But Taharka exists. Well, I think, okay, hold on. While you thinking, let's read 2 Chronicles chapter 12. And it came to pass, when Rehoboam had established the kingdom and had strengthened himself, he forsook the law of the Lord and all Israel with him. They tell you the whole Israel follow him with that. And it came to pass that in the 5th year of Rehoboam, Shishak, king of Egypt, came up against Jerusalem because they had transgressed against the Lord. Interesting. So why that trouble he? That they transgressed the law. But anyway, that's a deep vibe. That's a deep vibe. Yeah. So Rehoboam, he exists? No, nobody in the Bible exists. Shishak, king of Egypt, he exists? Shishak. I think I hear, you think you hear. All right. TheHistoryville.com. Let's just read this quickly. The African king who sacked Jerusalem in the 10th century BC. That sounds like they have some history on this stuff here. All right. Shishak the First, was a king of ancient Egypt. They're talking about Kemet here when they say Egypt, just in case you didn't know. Ancient Egypt, who ruled between 945 and 924 BC. But they shouldn't say that. Why not? Because he never existed. What do you mean? He's in the Bible. So what? Nobody in the Bible existed. He originated from the royal Libyan lineage who had the great chief of Meshwesh as their identity. So he was the great chief of Meshwesh. They inhabited Budastis, which is just Budastis, which is just to the north of Heliopolis, an ancient Egyptian city situated along the Nile River in the Delta region of Egypt. And it said Shishak's ascension to the throne was not met with much opposition or struggle. This founder of the 22nd dynasty of ancient Kemet Egypt arose to the throne with a solid army and treasury under his authority. Must be all mythological authority here. Very good. He is the opener of the 22nd dynasty. That must be a mythological dynasty. What you talking about, Priest Isaac? Shishak is in the Bible. Nobody in the Bible exists. Now, you see what this shows me? Because no one can argue that Shishak and Tahaka are historical characters. They may sound strange, happen to come from a lineage of people that have preserved their history and identity quite well. That's why you know the whole lineage from first to 20 how much dynastic period, you know the whole thing, because these people literally carved it in stone. A lot of the other people we talk about in history, that's why you have to argue and debate if they exist, because their stuff is blowing away in the desert sand. Oh, I had to put that in. Yeah. But here you have the king of Egypt and the king of Ethiopia and all the world, not only mentioned in the Bible, but in some significant positions here. You have Tahaka coming to slew the Assyrians to help Hezekiah. By the way, they found the Hezekiah seal. Huh? I don't know if anybody ever told you that. Oh, you've heard that already. Okay, good. Interesting. They haven't found too many other biblical people's seal, but they found the Hezekiah seal. Interesting. And it's an Egyptian seal too. Interesting too. Okay. And the king of Egypt and Ethiopia came to help Hezekiah, the king of all the world. Who's that? Tahaka. read about him in your history books. So this is why I know the argument about the Queen of Sheba now. Same type of characteristic, you know. The African sense coming towards Israel. Queen Candace of Ethiopia in the book of Acts. Another queen. These are real people. Remember, the Candace is the same Makeda. Queen of Sheba is a Candace, you know, a Kandake. The Queen of Sheba is a Kandake, Makeda. Makeda comes from Kandake too. The Candace. So technically, not only is Sheba not her name, Sheba is actually a male's name, you know. I hope I don't break no. Sheba is actually a male's name biblically. But anyway, Makeda neither. It's like a title. It's like the title of Mary. None of the Marys really named Mary. Not even Mariam. It's a title. The water, the life giver. Makeda is similar to Mary, yet still connected to the Kandake or the Candice, the tough African woman from South, the Cushite queens. So I just decided to touch the topic because I want us to be a little more aligned in our scholarship. You know, I think I might share this with the YouTube too, because you know, we need to be a bit more disciplined and responsible with our scholarship. You understand? I would say things and people check me on a few things and say, I don't think it's like that. And I know the IDM would understand that even if I say something and when I look at it, I say, but wait, that's not correct. I come right back here and say, hey, what I said, even if it's 2 years ago, when I look into that, I think I had that a bit off. Responsible scholarship is very, very important. Yes, my family, we definitely give thanks continually, you know, with all understanding. Because as I said, King Tahaka, you can go and see the monuments. King Tahaka, because this is what people say about the biblical characters. Nobody can find Abraham tomb. Nobody know where this man is. No one knows where the other fellow is. All right. But then as it relates to Shishak, as it relates to the great Tahaka, you know, their evidence is there in stone. The evidence of their existence is there in stone. It's not a debate. Now listen, there are people that would have existed, obviously, that you may not be able to find hardcore evidence of them. Not because you can't find evidence of them, mean that they don't exist. You know, this is not a court debate like we're trying to win a case here. People win case and they're guilty as guilty can be. So, but the point I'm making is not because you can't find evidence or think you can. That's the next thing, you know. Because people does be looking for evidence in the wrong place. That's another thing altogether. Remember, you know, that David built his city on the west of Gihon. The city of David is on the west of the Gihon. So I would leave it at that for us to meditate who we're looking for, what we're looking for. And I've said it before. A lot of the people you say you can't find are wrapped up in the people that you say exist. Yeah. Family, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And listen to this, family. It is not too late for you to make your contribution towards the next annual Priest Isaac's African History Month essay competition. Again, I would invite all to listen to the video that I did entitled The Serious Message. The document is Preservation of the Generations to Come. We just put it up yesterday on the YouTube. It was a part of Patron's Day. Listen to that. Watch it on the YouTube and listen to it the message within it and see exactly what we're saying as it relates to that document that I was speaking of earlier, if you didn't pick it up. And within that, you get the understanding of the importance of the mission and the target and the goal and just the whole, you know, the whole project and campaign that we are on. Man, we're here for the youth, we're here for the old, we're here for the middle, we're here for everyone. We're here for male and female, we're here for everyone. Yeah. Remember, it takes some real eyes to realize the real lies that are amongst us. Give thanks, family. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, bless. Do you want an accurate natal chart reading to know the true position of the sun, the moon, and each planet at the moment that you were being born? We at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will create a precise natal chart for you and your loved ones, coupled with snapshot pictures of each planet, the sun, the moon, plus the constellations related to them. In addition to this, we will be giving you a detailed report of the alignment of planets to the constellations and its full meaning, not from an astrological perspective, but from an ancient astronomical perspective. You will have this report for the rest of your life and can share it with your friends and your family. To order your accurate natal chart today, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Blessed.